If a mechanic tells you your engine is dead, don't reach for your wallet just yet, because sometimes the engine isn't dead at all. A bad sensor, weak battery, fuel pressure problem, vacuum leak, timing issue, or electrical connection can make a perfectly repairable engine act like it's ready for the scrapyard. And that's how $100 problem can turn into a $6,000 repair bill. The first thing you want checked is the battery under load. Battery can still crank the engine while dropping voltage low enough to confuse the vehicle's computers, ignition system injectors, and sensors. So if your car is cranking slowly, starting and immediately stalling, throwing strange warning lights, or behaving differently from one day to the next, don't assume the engine suddenly developed a major internal failure. Test the battery and charging system first, then look at the grounds. This is one of those boring checks that can save serious money. A corroded ground cable can create voltage drops that cause misfires, sensor errors, rough running, and electrical problems that seem completely unrelated. Before replacing an expensive computer or ignition component, make sure the electrical connections are clean, tight, and capable of carrying current properly. Next comes fuel pressure. Just because you hear the fuel pump running doesn't mean the engine is getting enough fuel. A weak pump or restricted fuel system can cause hesitation, stalling, hard starting, poor acceleration, and misfires. The engine may sound rough enough to convince someone that it's mechanically worn out when the real problem is simply that the cylinders aren't receiving the fuel they need. And don't forget the other half of combustion, air. Pull the air filter and inspect the intake system. Look for a filter that's completely clogged, a collapsed hose, loose connections, heavy debris, or anything restricting airflow. I've seen simple intake problems create symptoms that drivers thought were signs of a failing engine. Then there's the mass airflow sensor. This little component plays a huge role because it tells the computer how much air is entering the engine. If the sensor becomes contaminated, the computer can calculate the fuel mixture incorrectly. The result can be poor fuel economy, rough idle, hesitation, and inconsistent acceleration. But don't make the classic mistake of immediately buying a replacement sensor because a scan tool showed a related code. A diagnostic trouble code is a starting point, not a confession from the car telling you which part to replace. You need to understand why that code appeared. A lean condition, for example, could be caused by a vacuum leak, low fuel pressure, incorrect airflow information, or another problem entirely. That's why good diagnosis is about testing instead of throwing parts at the vehicle. If the engine cranks but won't start, verify spark. A failed coil, damaged plug, blown fuse, wiring problem, or crankshaft position signal can prevent combustion without causing catastrophic engine damage. Then check the timing system. The crankshaft and camshaft have to stay synchronized. If a timing chain stretches, a tensioner fails, or a timing belt jumps, the engine can suddenly lose power, run terribly, or refuse to start. That's serious, but serious doesn't automatically mean the entire engine needs to be replaced. Timing needs to be verified before making that decision. Oil pressure is another major checkpoint. If you're hearing ticking or rattling or the oil pressure warning appears, don't immediately assume the engine bearings are destroyed. A faulty pressure sensor can lie. A restricted pickup can reduce oil flow. The wrong filter or another lubrication problem can create symptoms that sound frightening. A mechanical oil pressure test gives you actual information instead of a guess. And one of the sneakiest problems is a vacuum leak. A small crack in a hose or intake gasket can allow air into the engine that the computer isn't expecting. Suddenly the idle becomes rough, fuel trims move, misfires appear, and acceleration feels weak. You can replace plugs, coils, injectors, and sensors and still never solve the problem if the real culprit is a tiny air leak. A smoke test can often expose leaks that are almost impossible to find by looking. Then we have overheating. If the temperature gauge climbs, coolant disappears, or steam comes from under the hood, take it seriously, but don't immediately assume the engine is destroyed. A thermostat, radiator, water pump, cooling fan, hose, or another cooling system component can cause overheating. The important thing is to stop driving before a manageable cooling problem becomes internal engine damage. And now comes the test that matters most when someone claims the engine itself is finished. Compression testing, followed when necessary by leak-down test. This is where you start getting hard evidence about what's happening inside the cylinders. Compression numbers can show whether the cylinders are building pressure properly, while a leak-down test can help identify where that pressure is escaping. That's far more useful than simply saying, the engine sounds bad. So if you ever receive an engine replacement estimate, ask a simple question. What test proved the engine needs to be replaced? Ask for the actual compression results. Ask whether oil pressure was measured. Ask whether fuel pressure, spark, timing, cooling, and vacuum leaks were checked. A trustworthy diagnosis should be explainable, measurable, and supported by evidence, because the worst repair bill isn't necessarily the expensive one. It's the expensive repair you never needed. Before you spend thousands on another engine, make sure someone has taken the time to prove that your current engine is actually beyond saving. Sometimes the difference between a $6,000 engine replacement and a $100 repair is nothing more than asking the right questions before saying yes.